Commander Lin Magying stood at the observation deck of Lunaport, watching the Galactic Council's assessment vessel make its final approach. The ship's sleek design spoke of advanced engineering, but its cautious, almost hesitant movements betrayed its crew's anxiety about Earth's gravitational field. "They're requesting docking permission," Lieutenant Santos reported from her station, "and they're asking about our gravity compensation systems." Lin allowed herself a small smile. "Inform them that we maintain Earth-standard gravity throughout the station. It's protocol for all human facilities." The response came quickly, tinged with what could only be described as alarm. "Commander, they're requesting a reduction to .4 standard." "Denied," Lin replied, straightening her midnight blue uniform. "They're here to assess us. They can experience humanity's normal operating conditions." The alien vessel, 3 times the size of a standard Earth shuttle, settled into the docking bay with excessive caution. Lin watched through the internal cameras as the airlock cycled. The delegation that emerged moved like dancers underwater, their movements deliberate and strained. Vazir, the lead xenobiologist, stood nearly 2 meters tall with azure skin that seemed to shimmer under the station's lights. Their elongated limbs and slender frames spoke of evolution in a gentler gravitational embrace. Behind them, 4 other council representatives followed, each showing varying degrees of discomfort. Lin met them at the reception area, noting how they leaned against the walls for support. "Welcome to Lunaport, distinguished representatives. I'm Commander Lin Magying, Station Director. Your hospitality is appreciated," Vazir managed between careful breaths. Their translator pendant pulsed with each word. "Though we must discuss the gravity settings, this is rather extreme for standard operations." Lin gestured to the bustling station around them. Technicians moved with practiced ease, carrying equipment that would have been impossible to lift on the council members' homeworlds. A maintenance crew jogged past, their tool belts laden with heavy machinery. "This is how we live," Lin explained, leading them toward the conference room. "Earth has shaped us for generations. Our bodies are adapted to these conditions." Vazir's research assistant, struggling with a data pad that seemed too heavy in their grasp, spoke up. "But surely this limits your species' potential for space exploration. Most successful spacefaring races evolved in environments between .3 and .5 standard gravity." A group of school children on a station tour ran past, their laughter echoing through the corridor. The council representatives pressed against the wall, astounded by the casual display of energy and strength. "We find ways to manage," Lin replied diplomatically. She'd read the preliminary reports. The council considered Earth's gravity a devastating disadvantage, a cruel twist of evolution that would forever hold humanity back from true space exploration. In the conference room, Vazir sank gratefully into a reinforced chair. "Commander, our preliminary findings suggest that your species faces significant challenges. The energy requirements alone to maintain these gravity levels in space are offset by our natural adaptability." Lin interrupted smoothly. "Perhaps instead of discussing theoretical limitations, you'd like to see our orbital construction yards. We're currently assembling the new Ganymede Research Station." The council members exchanged worried glances. Vazir's secondary breathing membranes fluttered in what Lin had learned was their species' expression of concern. "In these conditions," Vazir asked, "surely you use reduced gravity for space construction?" Lin's smile widened slightly. "Actually, we find Earth gravity optimal for training. It makes zero-G work feel effortless in comparison." She pulled up a holographic display of the construction site. "Our crews are scheduled to begin the main reactor installation in 1 hour. You'll have an excellent view of human space adaptation techniques." The aliens watched the display with a mixture of disbelief and reluctant curiosity. They had come expecting to find a species imprisoned by their planet's gravity. Instead, they were beginning to suspect that Earth's embrace had forged something unprecedented in the galaxy. Lin knew that this was just the beginning. Soon, they would understand that Earth's gravity wasn't humanity's prison. It was their launching pad to the stars. The council chamber aboard Lunaport hummed with quiet tension as Vazir presented their preliminary findings. Holographic displays filled the room with swirling data streams, comparing gravitational conditions across known spacefaring civilizations. Engineer Isabella Rodriguez sat near the back, her fingers drumming silently against her tablet as she watched Earth being categorized as a Class 4 gravitational impediment world. As you can see, Vazir continued, their azure skin pale under the harsh presentation lights. Successful space exploration correlates strongly with evolutionary development in lower gravity environments. The alien scientist gestured to a chart where Earth sat alone in the highest gravity category. Commander Lin maintained her diplomatic smile, but Rodriguez noticed the slight tension in her superior's shoulders. The council representatives were being polite about it, but their message was clear. Humanity's homeworld was considered a cosmic mistake. The energy expenditure alone for your species to achieve escape velocity, one of Vazir's colleagues commented, consulting their notes, is nearly triple that of established spacefaring races. The physical toll on your bodies. Excuse me, Rodriguez interrupted, raising her hand. The motion itself seemed to startle the aliens, who had been struggling all morning with the simple act of lifting their arms in Earth normal gravity. I'd like to offer a practical demonstration, if the council permits. Vazir's secondary breathing membranes fluttered in surprise. Engineer Rodriguez, while we appreciate your enthusiasm, our data is quite conclusive. Then you have nothing to lose by observing, Rodriguez replied, standing smoothly. She walked to the center of the room, her movements deliberate and confident. Commander Lin, permission to access the environmental controls. Lin nodded, her eyes twinkling with understanding. Granted. Rodriguez's fingers danced across her tablet. The chamber's gravity began to fluctuate in controlled waves, cycling from Earth normal down to Martian levels, then up again. The council representatives gripped their chairs in alarm, but Rodriguez stood unaffected, even performing a small hop that turned into a graceful spin as she passed through a low-gravity pocket. Humanity doesn't just survive in different gravitational conditions, she explained, continuing her casual movements as the gravity shifted around her. We adapt. We thrive. What you see as our greatest weakness is actually our greatest strength. She brought up her own holographic display, showing footage from the orbital construction yards. Human workers move through space with practiced ease, transitioning between gravity zones as naturally as walking. Our bodies learn. Every child born on Earth inherits millions of years of adaptation to high gravity. When we go into space, the display shifted to show zero-G construction techniques. The strength that lets us stand tall on Earth becomes precision control in space. The reflexes we develop under high gravity give us unmatched coordination in low-G environments. Vazir leaned forward, their scientific curiosity overtaking their prejudice. But the energy requirements for your space stations, your ships, are exactly what made us innovate, Rodriguez finished. She gestured, and new schematics appeared. These are our latest gravity manipulation systems. When you understand gravity as intimately as we do, you learn to work with it, not against it. The chamber fell silent as the council representatives studied the designs. Rodriguez could practically see their preconceptions crumbling. We would be interested in seeing these systems in operation, Vazir finally said, their voice carrying a new note of respect. Rodriguez shared a quick glance with Commander Lin before responding. Better yet, I'd like to invite the Council to observe our zero-G training program. See firsthand how humans adapt from Earth gravity to space operations. The aliens shifted uncomfortably, but their curiosity was evident. Vazir's research assistant was already making notes, probably recalculating their entire assessment model. After all, Rodriguez added with a warm smile, the best way to understand humanity isn't through charts and theories. It's through action. We're scheduled to begin construction on the Ganymede Station's main reactor housing tomorrow. Would you like to see what humans can really do in space? The challenge was set. Now it was time to show the galaxy that Earth's gravity hadn't held humanity back. It had prepared them for the stars. The observation deck of construction platform Echo offered a panoramic view of humanity's latest achievement. The skeletal framework of the Ganymede Research Station stretched against the star-filled backdrop, its partially completed sections gleaming in the sunlight. Engineer Isabella Rodriguez watched the council representatives press against the reinforced windows, their expressions a mixture of disbelief and growing admiration. The reactor housing weighs approximately 12 metric tons, she explained, pointing to the massive cylindrical structure being maneuvered into position. In space, that mass still requires precise handling to prevent momentum-related accidents. Vazir's secondary breathing membranes fluttered rapidly, and your species manages this without automated systems. We use automation where it makes sense, Commander Lin interjected, but human operators provide flexibility that machines can't match. Watch. Outside, a team of construction workers in sleek environmental suits guided the reactor housing. Their movements were synchronized, almost balletic, as they used minimal bursts from their maneuvering packs to adjust the massive component's trajectory. What impressed the aliens most wasn't the technical achievement. It was the casual confidence with which the humans worked. Notice how they're using their own bodies as counterweights, Rodriguez pointed out. That's the kind of intuitive physics you develop growing up in high gravity. We understand mass and momentum in our bones. One worker executed a perfect spin around the housing's edge, using her momentum to halt an unwanted rotation. The council's chief engineer, their carapace shimmering with excitement, pressed closer to the window. The precision control, they whispered. In their natural gravity, they wouldn't even be able to. That's just it, Rodriguez interrupted gently. This is natural for us too. Earth's gravity taught us to be strong. Space taught us to be graceful. We're equally at home in both. Outside, the construction team began the delicate process of aligning the reactor housing with its mounting points. Each worker moved in perfect coordination, their bodies acting as living stabilizers. When a minor power fluctuation caused one of the guidance systems to stutter, they compensated instantly, their reactions faster than any automated system. The neural pathways developed under high gravity, Vazir mused, their scientific curiosity fully engaged. They must provide exceptional spatial awareness in zero-G conditions. Lin smiled. Would you like to see something really impressive? Rodriguez, show them the maintenance crew. The observation deck's view shifted to a different section of the construction site. Here, a team of workers moved through a complex maze of support struts and power conduits, performing routine inspections. They didn't use maneuvering packs at all, instead pushing off surfaces with carefully measured force, their bodies flowing through space like dancers in a choreographed performance. No safety tethers, one of the council representatives noted, their voice tight with anxiety. They have emergency systems, Rodriguez assured them, but experienced workers rarely need them. Watch how they maintain 3 points of contact, just like rock climbing on Earth. Those same skills that help us overcome our gravity become invaluable in space. The maintenance team's leader, spotting their audience, offered a casual salute before launching herself through a narrow gap between power conduits. She caught a handhold on the far side without looking, her body automatically adjusting to arrest her momentum. Showing off a bit, Lin chuckled, but she's made her point. Every challenge Earth presented us with became an advantage up here. Vazir was rapidly taking notes, their earlier skepticism replaced by genuine enthusiasm. We may need to completely revise our understanding of gravitational adaptation. Your species hasn't just overcome your world's gravity. You've turned it into a training ground for space exploration. Rodriguez nodded toward the window, where the reactor housing was now perfectly aligned with its mounting points. That's humanity for you. We don't see limitations. We see opportunities to prove ourselves. In the vacuum of space, the construction team began the final lockdown sequence, their movements a testament to the perfect marriage of strength and precision that Earth's children had achieved among the stars. Dr. Kimiko Tanaka's laboratory aboard Lunaport buzzed with activity as holographic displays filled the room with rotating DNA strands and cellular structures. Vizier moved from screen to screen, their azure skin reflecting the blue glow of the data streams, while their research team frantically recorded observations. "These adaptation rates are unprecedented," Vizier murmured, studying the time-lapse simulation of human cellular regeneration under varying gravitational conditions. "Your species doesn't just tolerate gravitational changes, you thrive on them." Tanaka nodded, adjusting her wire-rimmed glasses as she pulled up another dataset. "We discovered that human physiology actually benefits from gravitational variation. Our bones don't just maintain density in space, they become more efficient at redistributing mass based on load patterns." The display shifted to show comparative scans of space workers' musculoskeletal systems before and after long-term zero-G assignments. Where other species showed deterioration, humans displayed remarkable adaptation patterns. "Look at the muscle fiber development," Tanaka pointed out, highlighting specific areas. Traditional theory suggested that evolution under high gravity would make us too specialized, too heavy world-dependent. Instead, it gave us unprecedented physical plasticity. Commander Lin and Engineer Rodriguez joined them in the lab, fresh from the construction demonstration. Vazier's research assistant immediately bombarded them with questions about their personal experiences with gravitational adaptation. "The real breakthrough came when we studied the vestibular system," Tanaka continued, bringing up a new series of neural scans. "Human inner ear adaptation isn't just about maintaining balance. It's about rapidly creating new equilibrium patterns." She gestured, and a holographic display transformed into a representation of the human nervous system. Earth's gravity forced our ancestors to develop extremely sophisticated balance and spatial awareness systems. In space, these systems don't shut down or deteriorate. They evolve. "Impossible," one of Vazier's colleagues whispered, their translator barely catching the word. "The energy cost alone for such continuous adaptation is offset by our metabolic efficiency," Tanaka explained, switching to a biochemical analysis. "Human cells have developed remarkable energy management systems, another gift from our high-gravity evolution. We don't just use more energy than low-G species, we use it more effectively." Rodriguez stepped forward, pointing to a particular dataset. "This explains why our construction teams can work such long shifts in variable gravity conditions. We're not fighting our biology, we're expressing its full potential." The lab fell silent as Vizier studied the complete analysis. The evidence was irrefutable. Humanity's supposed disadvantage had created a species perfectly suited for the challenges of space exploration. "Your bone density," Vizier noted, bringing up a comparative analysis. "In our gravity classification system, it should be a hindrance. But these stress adaptation patterns allow us to handle rapid gravitational transitions that would incapacitate most species," Tanaka finished. "We can go from Earth gravity to zero-G and back again with minimal recovery time. Our bodies are literally designed for space exploration. We just had to become strong enough to get there first." Lynn smiled as she watched the council representatives process this revelation. "Earth didn't trap us," she said quietly. "It trained us." Tanaka nodded, bringing up one final display, a map of human expansion throughout the solar system. "Each gravitational environment we encounter adds to our adaptability. Mars, Luna, the asteroid bases, every challenge makes us more versatile. A species forged in high gravity," Vizier mused, their scientific objectivity warring with amazement, "becoming masters of all gravitational conditions. We may need to completely reconceptualize our understanding of evolutionary advantages." Rodriguez laughed softly. "Maybe the real advantage isn't where you evolve, but how you adapt to where you want to go." As if to emphasize her point, an alert chimed through the lab. The Ganymede Station's reactor housing had been successfully installed, ahead of schedule. Through the lab's window, Earth hung bright and blue against the black of space, no longer a gravitational prison, but a launching pad to the stars. The proof was in the data streaming across the screens, in the construction teams moving confidently through space, and in the very bones of every human who had dared to reach beyond their world's embrace to dance among the stars. The emergency alert shattered the contemplative atmosphere of Dr. Tanaka's lab. Red warning lights pulsed as Commander Lin's communicator projected a holographic distress signal from Centauri Prime Station. "This is Administrator Excelfor," a wavering voice transmitted through bursts of static. "Main gravity generators are experiencing catastrophic cascade failure. 3,000 residents, gravitational fluctuations, medical emergencies mounting. Request immediate assistance." Vazir's breathing membranes fluttered in distress. Centauri Prime houses primarily low-G evolved species. If they're experiencing Earth-level gravity pulses, they won't survive long without intervention. Lin finished, already activating her emergency protocols. "Rodriguez, prep the rapid response shuttle. Dr. Tanaka, we'll need your medical expertise." The council representatives watched in astonishment as the human team snapped into action. Within minutes, the corridors of Lunaport filled with emergency response personnel moving with practiced efficiency. "You're going personally?" Vazir asked, hurrying to keep up with Lin's stride. "The gravitational distortions make it impossible for your species to help," Lin responded, entering the emergency deployment bay. "But for us, it's just another challenge." The response shuttle's bay was organized chaos. Engineers checked environmental suits rated for extreme gravitational shifts, while medical teams loaded specialized equipment. Rodriguez supervised the loading of portable gravity stabilizers, her fingers flying over diagnostic screens. "Latest update from Centauri Prime," she reported. "Gravity fluctuations ranging from 0.3 to 2.5 standard. They're experiencing ripple effects through all 18 levels." Dr. Tanaka looked up from her medical preparations. 2.5. That's higher than Earth gravity. Even for us, that's dangerous. "Which is why we're taking precautions," Lin replied, checking her suit's reinforced joints. "Vazir, we could use your insight on low-G species physiological responses. Would you be willing to coordinate from Lunaport?" The alien scientist straightened, despite the strain of Luna's gravity. "Of course. I'll link directly with Centauri Prime's medical database." The shuttle launched within 15 minutes of the initial alert. As they approached Centauri Prime, the station's crisis became visible. Structural stress patterns rippled across its hull, the metal groaning under fluctuating gravitational forces. Reading massive power spikes, Rodriguez reported from the pilot's seat. "The gravity generator's containment field is degrading. We have maybe 2 hours before complete failure." Through the shuttle's windows, they could see emergency lights flashing through the station's viewports. Occasionally, floating figures would slam suddenly downward as gravity waves pulsed through different sections. "Docking will be tricky," Rodriguez continued, her hands steady on the controls. "We'll have to time it between gravity waves." Lin nodded, addressing her team. "Priority 1 is stabilizing the life support sections. Dr. Tanaka, set up a trade center in the lowest gravity area you can find. Rodriguez, you're with me. We need to reach that generator." The shuttle's docking procedure demonstrated the difference between human and alien approaches to space. Where others might have waited for optimal conditions, Rodriguez read the gravity fluctuations like a dancer reading music, sliding the shuttle into its berth between pulses. As they prepared to board, Vazir's voice came through their comms. "Commander, the station's internal sensors show crystalline fractures forming in the residential sectors. The structural integrity won't hold much longer," Lin finished. "Understood. Team Alpha, take the medical supplies to Section 4. Beta Team, start evacuation protocols for the outer rings. Rodriguez, Dr. Tanaka, with me." They stepped into the airlock, their suits' gravity compensators already adjusting to the chaotic environment beyond. Through the inner door's window, they could see station residents clinging to handholds, terror evident in their alien features as another gravity wave approached. "Remember," Lynn said, checking her team's safety tethers one last time. "This is what Earth prepared us for. Let's show the galaxy what humans can do." The airlock cycled open, and humanity's finest stepped into chaos, ready to prove once again that their world's gravity hadn't been a curse, but the ultimate gift. The corridor ahead buckled as another gravity wave pulsed through Centauri Prime Station. Engineer Rodriguez braced herself against the wall, her suit's sensors screaming warnings as the local gravity spiked to 2.3 G behind her. Dr. Tanaka supported a Proximan researcher whose delicate frame couldn't handle the crushing force. "Wave pattern established," Rodriguez reported through the comm system. "We have 43 seconds between pulses. Commander Lin, what's your status?" "Team Alpha has secured the medical bay in Section 4. Lin's voice crackled back. "Dr. Tanaka, we need you there. These species weren't built for these conditions." Tanaka nodded inside her helmet, even though Lin couldn't see it. "Understood. Rodriguez, can you?" "I'll get them there," Rodriguez assured her, already calculating the safest route through the gravitational chaos. She took the Proximan's other arm. "Sir, we're going to move fast between waves. Let us do the work." The alien scientists' crystalline eyes blinked in understanding. Around them, the station's structure groaned under the strain of fluctuating forces. Emergency lights cast everything in a pulsing red glow, making the scene feel like something from humanity's deep-sea explorations. 30 seconds until next wave," Rodriguez announced. "Moving now." They pushed off, Rodriguez guiding their trajectory with practiced ease. The Proximan barely weighed anything in the current low-G pocket, but that would change dramatically when the next wave hit. They had to reach the reinforced medical bay before then. Through intersecting corridors, they passed other human rescue teams helping various alien species. Some carried injured station residents, while others worked to stabilize critical systems. Each team moved with the same confident precision, reading the gravity fluctuations like surfers reading waves. "Wave incoming," Rodriguez warned. "Brace for impact." She pushed the Proximan into a cushioned alcove, using her own body as a shield as the gravity suddenly quintupled. The alien whimpered, but Rodriguez's earthborn muscles held steady, preventing any injury from the crushing force. "You're doing great," she encouraged as the wave passed. "Medical bay is 2 sections ahead. Dr. Tanaka will take care of you there." Vazir's voice came through the comms, tight with concern. "Rodriguez, structural integrity in Section 7 is failing. Commander Lin needs those portable gravity stabilizers." "Copy that," she replied, switching focus seamlessly. "Dr. Tanaka, can you?" "Go," Tanaka interrupted, already moving to secure the Proximan. "I've got this." Rodriguez didn't waste time with acknowledgments. She was already moving, pushing off walls, and using the variable gravity to her advantage. Where other species saw chaos, she saw opportunities. A sudden gravity spike became a launch point. A 0G pocket allowed for rapid transit between sections. She found Lin coordinating teams at a junction, portable gravity stabilizers hovering nearby on null-grav sleds. The commander's suit showed stress readings from multiple gravity waves, but she moved with the same authority as she did on Lunaport. "Generator room is through here," Lin indicated, but the last team couldn't get close enough. "The gravity distortions are worse near the source, I know," Rodriguez finished. She studied the sensor readings, then smiled. "But that's what Earth prepared us for, right?" Together, they began moving the stabilizers through increasingly volatile gravitational conditions. Where automated systems would have failed, human intuition and adaptability prevailed. They read the waves, timed their movements, and pressed forward when other species would have retreated. "You know," Rodriguez commented as they anchored the first stabilizer, local gravity fluctuating wildly around them. "I bet those council representatives are seeing Earth's gravity in a new light now." Lin chuckled despite the situation. Nothing like a crisis to change perspective. "Speaking of which, wave incoming." ready to show them what Earth's children can really do. Rodriguez grinned, bracing for the gravitational tsunami about to hit. "Born ready, Commander. Born ready." Around them, Centauri Prime continued to groan and shudder, but humanity's rescuers stood firm, turning their greatest supposed weakness into salvation for thousands. The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council fell silent as Vazir stepped onto the presentation platform. Their azure skin still bore traces of fatigue from the recent crisis, but their posture radiated conviction. Behind them, Commander Lin and Dr. Tanaka sat among the Earth delegation, while Engineer Rodriguez made final adjustments to the holographic systems. "Esteemed council members," Vazir began, their translator pendant pulsing with each word, "I stand before you to present not just a report, but a complete paradigm shift in our understanding of gravitational adaptation." The chamber's holographic display came to life, showing the initial assessment parameters that had classified Earth as a gravitationally disadvantaged world. Vazir let the old data hang in the air for a moment before gesturing. The display transformed, showing footage from the Centauri Prime rescue operation. 3 days ago, when Centauri Prime Station faced catastrophic gravity generator failure, we witnessed something unprecedented. The footage showed human rescue teams moving through gravitational chaos that would have incapacitated any other known species. What we once considered humanity's greatest weakness became the salvation of 3,000 lives. Dr. Tanaka's medical data overlaid the rescue footage, showing the remarkable adaptability of human physiology under varying gravitational conditions. Their bodies, evolved under what we thought were crushing conditions, demonstrated capabilities we had thought impossible. The council members leaned forward as Vazir brought up comparative analyses. Humanity's high-gravity evolution didn't trap them on their world. It prepared them for the challenges of space exploration in ways we never imagined. New data streams appeared, showing the success rates of human space operations compared to other species. Their construction crews work longer shifts in zero-G than any known species. Their rescue teams can operate in gravitational conditions that would kill most of us. Their bodies adapt to new gravitational environments at rates our models insisted were impossible. Commander Lin stepped forward at Vazir's gesture, her presence drawing every eye in the chamber. Through the vast windows behind her, Earth hung like a blue jewel against the void, no longer a symbol of limitation but of potential. The human capacity for adaptation extends beyond mere physical resilience, Vazir continued. Their neural plasticity, their spatial awareness, their intuitive understanding of gravitational dynamics, all of these were forged in Earth's embrace. The display shifted to show the successful stabilization of Centauri Prime's gravity generators. Engineer Rodriguez and her team didn't just prevent a catastrophe. They demonstrated a level of operational capability in variable gravity that redefines what we thought possible. Rodriguez's data on human performance in extreme conditions filled the chamber. Their bodies don't just survive gravitational stress. They learn from it. Each challenge makes them stronger, more adaptable. What we saw as evolutionary constraints were actually evolutionary advantages waiting to be expressed. Vazir paused, looking at the assembled council members. We came to Earth expecting to find a species imprisoned by their world's gravity. Instead, we found a species that had turned that gravity into a launching pad to the stars. The chamber erupted in discussion as Vazir presented their final recommendations. I propose an immediate reclassification of Earth's gravitational conditions from disadvantaged to advantaged status. Furthermore, I recommend the establishment of a joint Human Council Space Rescue and Construction Initiative. Dr. Tanaka's research data took center stage, showing the potential applications of human gravitational adaptation techniques, their methods, their technologies, their very evolution. All of these offer us new possibilities we never considered. The humans have a saying, Vazir concluded, gesturing to the Earth delegation. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Their world's gravity didn't crush them. It created something extraordinary. The question isn't whether humanity can adapt to space. The question is, can space adapt to humanity? As the council chambers filled with excited discussion, Commander Lin shared a quiet smile with her team. They had known all along that Earth's gravity wasn't their prison. It was their springboard to the stars. Now the galaxy knew it too. 6 months after the Centauri Prime incident, Commander Lin stood in the newly completed Ganymede Research Station's observation dome. The massive viewport offered a stunning view of Jupiter's swirling clouds, but her attention was focused on the construction activity before her. A joint human-alien construction team worked on the station's final section, their movements a testament to the changes the last few months had brought. Where once other species had struggled in variable gravity conditions, now they moved with growing confidence, guided by human instructors and supported by Earth-designed adaptive technology. The latest adaptation statistics are remarkable, Dr. Tanaka said, joining her at the viewport. The new training protocols have reduced gravitational stress injuries by 87% across all participating species. Lynn smiled as she watched a Proximan construction worker execute a perfect zero-G maneuver under Rodriguez's guidance. How are the medical applications progressing? Beyond our expectations, Tanaka replied, bringing up a holographic display. The techniques we developed for the Centauri Prime rescue are revolutionizing treatment for low-G species. Vazir's team has already identified 15 potential therapeutic applications. The mentioned scientist appeared as if summoned, their movements now smooth and confident despite the station's Earth-normal gravity. 6 months of adaptation training had transformed not just their understanding, but their capabilities. Commander, Vazir greeted them, their breathing membranes rippling with excitement. The Council's Education Committee has approved the establishment of the first Gravitational Adaptation Academy. They're requesting Earth as the primary training location. Rodriguez joined them, fresh from her training session. From gravitational prison to galactic university, she chuckled. Quite a change in perspective. Through the viewport, they watched as a massive shield panel was maneuvered into place. Human and alien workers moved in perfect synchronization, their differences becoming advantages in the complex operation. The Interstellar Emergency Response Division is already oversubscribed, Lin noted, reviewing the latest reports. 17 species have volunteered for the advanced training program. They're calling it the Earth Protocol now. Humanity's greatest gift to the galaxy, Vazir mused, wasn't technology or resources. It was showing us that our limitations were largely self-imposed. A cheer erupted from the construction team as the shield panel locked into place. The station's external structure was finally complete, a testament to what different species could achieve together. Dr. Tanaka, Rodriguez called out, pointing to a new notification on their shared display. The medical research team on Europa just confirmed your hypothesis. The human adaptation process can be partially replicated in other species through controlled gravitational exposure. Tanaka's eyes lit up behind her glasses. With proper training and support, we might be able to help other species develop similar adaptability. Not to our level, of course, but enough to significantly expand their operational capabilities. From the species that couldn't possibly succeed in space, Lin said with quiet pride, to the ones teaching the galaxy how to thrive there, I'd call that a successful evolution. Vazir's translator pendant pulsed with amusement. The Council's original assessment wasn't entirely wrong, you know. Earth's gravity is indeed exceptional, just not in the way we thought. It didn't limit humanity. It created exactly what the galaxy needed. They watched as the construction team began their return journey, human and alien workers moving together through the void. Each movement spoke of trust, of understanding, of barriers overcome and limitations transcended. So, what's next? Rodriguez asked, already looking toward new horizons. Deep space rescue operations, extreme environment construction. Lin smiled, her gaze moving from Jupiter's magnificent face to the stars beyond. Everything, she said simply. The galaxy thought Earth's gravity was our prison, but it was really our launching pad. Now it's time to show them just how far humanity can go, and help them come with us. Above them, Earth's light shone steady and strong, no longer a symbol of limitation, but a beacon of possibility for all species reaching for the stars.